Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Zesty Thoughts with your host, Anabla. Welcome to episode 68. I hope everyone is having a wonderful week so far. I have had such a nice week. I am wearing the most beautiful scarf. My student actually gave this to me, and it's such a sweet story. So, rewind like a few months ago, the student started studying with me. He's 7 years old, I believe, 8 years old. And he's the sweetest kid ever. His mom is very nice. He's very excited about learning piano, and he's just a good student. You know, he practices, he's very focused and listens well. And like, he's one of my favorite like new students that I've had in a while. And a few weeks ago, he stopped me in like the middle of the lesson and was like, "Oh, Miss Caitlin, are you a mom?" And I was like, "No, I'm not a mom yet. Why?" And he's like, "I don't know. I just think you'd be a good mom." I was like, "What?" Okay, so that was like so freaking cute that he said that. Then a few weeks ago, I was wearing a scarf. I think I even wore it in the pod episode, like 2 episodes ago. I was wearing a scarf like this, and then I wore it to work. And it was the day that I had the student. Okay, and then yesterday, it's like the last lesson before like the holiday break, right? And he comes in with a little present, and it's this scarf. It's like a beautiful silk scarf. I was like, "What? That's so cute." Probably the mom was like, "She wore that scarf. Let's get her a scarf." So I'm like, I love the colors too. I'm just so enamored by this gift. It's so freaking cute and thoughtful, and I love the colors too. It has this like really cute like pattern on it. It's just such a cute gift. Like, oh my gosh. So I'm like smitten. I'm loving that I'm wearing it. I also have a new addition to my pod set. This little plant here. My my student came in like a week or two ago, and she was like, "Here you go. Here you go, Miss Caitlin." I'm like, "It's just a little plant. It's so cute." And I was like, "Oh my God, I know exactly where this is going." But it's so cute. So I thought, okay, I'm perfect. I'm going to put it right here with the lemon bear and all my crystals. So, new addition to the pod set. Okay. I'm going to start off strong today with my thirst of the week. I am back on my green juice game. I had a phase in college, maybe 2 or 3 years into being vegan, which I'm not anymore, but I was vegan for like 7 or 8 years. I had this like massive green juice kick. I was like given a juicer by like my friend. He just like wanted to get it off of his hands. And so he gave me just like an actual, like a full ass juicer. And I was like, okay, sick. So I took full advantage of that juicer, and I went insane for probably like a whole year. And I was like really knee deep into, making green juices. And like I would make them in bulk and bottle them and with those like, I don't know how to describe it. They're almost like beer bottles, but they have like pop tops on them, like glass bottles. And so I would bottle them and make them like airtight so they wouldn't like oxidize and get all like gross. And it was like ideal. My skin was so clear, and I was so like snatched and just like had good energy and just felt better all the time. So I am back on my green juice shit. I do not have that juicer anymore, but I have a Vitamix, which is like, you just gotta strain the pulp. That's pretty much it, that thing pulverizes pretty much anything in its sight. So yeah, I'm back on my green juice shit. I kept it simple this week. I'm just doing like cucumber, apple, lemon, ginger. I am already doing like kale in the soup that I meal prepped this week. So I was like, I'll just like leave the greens out for now. But it's so freaking good. The Vitamix that I have, actually, I bought after I graduated from high school. I went to the Orange County Fair. It's like such a random like thing that happened to me. I went to the OC Fair, and we were like walking through one of the buildings. I don't know what the name of the building was, but it's like where they have like products, and they're like selling products. It's like infomercials, but like in real life. Okay. We went to this like building, and there was one stand that was selling Vitamixes, okay? And, I watched the demo. I was just there. I don't even know who I was there with, probably my parents. And I was like, oh my gosh, I want this blender. It's like such a solid blender. It's like high quality. It's like commercial grade, it's like really does the trick. It's like everything you want out of a blender, saying that, not knowing how much they cost, right? Okay. So they're like, oh yeah, these are the different models and the prices and stuff. And, but yeah, we have like payment plans. So if you want to like put a deposit down and then we can subtract monthly payments. And I was like, well then hell yeah, I can get the Vitamix. Let's fucking go, So I literally put the deposit down, which I think was $100. Like I think it was $99 for the deposit. And then I gave them my payment information to take out the rest of the payments. And then they never did. And I went home with the blender. Like I got a Vitamix, like a nice Vitamix for $100. And I still have it to this day. I did have to replace like the pitcher at one point. But other than that, man, and nothing's a beast. It's crazy. So I've been back on my juice kick using my Vitamix, going absolutely bananas. I'm saving all the pulp. I'm straining all the pulp and saving the pulp to make little like, I call them fiber bombs. I just put them in an ice cube tray. And then if I ever am feeling like I'm about to get sick or I'm feeling like my stomach hurts or like I just want like an extra like little bit of fiber in my day, then I will pop one of the cubes into like a coffee cup and then I'll put hot water and like dissolve it, essentially melt it down and then drink it. And it's like, it's kind of like weird and fibery, but I think it's really, really good. And, they taste fine. So I've just been on that green juice kick. I'm loving it. And I'm like, I need my skin to glow and be like nourished, especially in this weather. It's cooling down in LA and we're using the heater a lot because it's cold at night and we live in an old apartment. These windows are not doing us any good. So we've had the heater on a lot. So it's been kind of dry inside the place. So, counteracting with extra hydration. You feel me? Okay, on to the main segment for the month of December, my Christmas movie a day marathon. I have some really good ones and some really bad ones from this week. So I'm just going to dive right into it. So the movie that I watched on the 10th was Die Hard. Okay, I never saw Die Hard. It's like kind of a Christmas movie, but it's also just like on Christmas. This might be a hot take, but I don't think that movies that just take place during Christmas time should be considered Christmas movies. I feel like it should actually be about Christmas, in my opinion. So this movie is like not about Christmas, but it was good. I saw it because like every list that I looked up that was like best Christmas movies of all time, this was on. And I'm like, right, okay. So it was good. I do feel like maybe it's overhyped a little bit, but I did enjoy it. I like I said, I don't know how I never saw it before. I love Bruce Willis. I thought it was great. I was like roped in. I was tied into it the whole time. I was like locked in, you feel me? But I don't know. It was great. I would like recommend people see it if you've never seen it, but I don't know if it deserves to be in the best Christmas movies of all time list. I guess I'll just leave it there. It is a good movie though. So I gave it an 8 out of 10. All right. The next movie that I watched was Last Christmas. I thought this was really cute. I also gave it an 8 out of 10, maybe like 8.5 out of 10. It's starring Emilia Clarke, my girl. And I'm like deep in, Game of Thrones right now. I'm just started season 7, right? So I'm like, Emilia Clarke. I'm like literally fiending right now. So I really liked this. I thought it was a very sweet film. Amazing kind of like emotional twist toward the end. So I actually do recommend people go watch this. I thought it was very cute. It is called Last Christmas, so it's jam-packed with Wham music if you're a fan of that. I don't want to like be pissing nobody off, but I'm personally not really a fan of 80s music. Other than like John Hughes soundtracks, like that genre of 80s music, I'm down with. But like pretty much everything else, I'm like, I don't know. It's just not my vibe. So this is jam packed with Wham music, which I'm not like the hugest fan of, but I think the movie overall is really, really cute, and I would recommend watching it. It's very wholesome. It's definitely about Christmas, right? And it just has a great story, some great themes about immigrants, and just great like talking points. And like, I think this is like a very heartfelt, like positive, like heartwarming, like nice Christmas movie, even for people to watch like during the holidays, at family gatherings. So I would recommend it. I just thought it was very cute. So I'll give it like an 8.5 out of 10. Okay. The next movie that I watched is called My Secret Santa. I give it a 5 out of 10. I wrote down quite shit, but also charming in a way. So I don't know how else to describe it other than that. This is like a newer Netflix Christmas movie, and I was actually listening to Brooke and Connor make a podcast this morning while I was getting ready, and they were also talking about the same thing that I wrote down. I wrote down like, why is every Christmas movie a rom-com? Like, why is there such a crossover? And also just like, to their point, like rom-coms and Christmas movies have like sincerely taken like a massive hit, and I think it's just like Netflix and like these streaming services are just like pumping out content without any regard for like the actual quality, right? Without really, giving it much of a thought. But I thought this was cute. I just don't know. I don't know what else to say, but it's cute. It's kind of like a corny rom-com Christmas movie. But it's sweet. It has Alexandra Breckenridge. I never knew her name. I don't know. This is kind of like a corny one that you can just kind of like have on in the background. So yeah, I guess that's why I gave it a 5 out of 10, because I was like doing dishes and like chores and stuff while watching and listening to this movie. It's kind of one of those Christmas movies you don't even need to really see, unfortunately, to understand what's going on. I don't know if I'd recommend it. It was cute, but it's kind of mid. Maybe below mid, actually. Next movie that I watched was Christmas Contract. I gave this a 4.5 out of 10. It's kind of in the same boat as My Secret Santa. It's like a newer one. I literally just wrote down proper shite. Proper shite. It definitely, it was sweet. It has kind of like all the same romantic comedy, Christmas, holiday tropes, like having to bring someone home. Yeah, it's just boring, honestly, in my opinion. Not very like memorable. If you are single and you want something to like ruminate in and like live vicariously through, then like maybe you'll enjoy this, because it's like there are some super romantic moments, but it's pretty bad. All right, the next movie that I watched was called The Nutcrackers. I loved this movie so much. I gave it a 10 out of 10. It's starring Ben Stiller, and it's so funny, and just like you're sitting there kind of like rooting for the main character just to come to terms. You already know. It's kind of like predictable in that way. You're like, oh, come to terms with this. Like you're rooting for them. You're like wanting them to get to that final point. And it's so satisfying when it does, because it does. That's like maybe a tiny spoiler, but sorry about it. It's really good. The kids are so funny. I literally wrote down, can we please normalize kids being weird again, right? Because like I work with kids and they're like afraid to be weird. I don't know what it is. There's like very much a lack of like, not diversity. Diversity is not the right word, but there's a lack of like uniqueness in kids that I feel like I've seen over the last few years. I feel like kids all gravitating towards the same things and like just too much into trends. And it's just like a vast majority, like a large percentage of my students that are just like all in the same thing, all in the same trends, all wearing the same kind of stuff. And it's like, come on now, like we can do a little bit better than that. And I think like social media and having access to the internet is like a large culprit, because when you don't have like that to like compare yourself to other kids or to other people, then like you have space to like want your own things and have your own desires and not like be influenced by other people and thinking that you have to like the same things as like other people, if that makes sense. That kind of ties into like kids being weird. I feel like kids like behavior, as with like kids following like trends in fashion and toys and in pop culture, I also feel like kids behavior can like be also influenced, if that makes any sense. Their sense of wonder. You know what I mean? Bring back the sense of wonder. And I just loved this. When you see the movie, I highly recommend you watch this, The Nutcrackers. I think it's on Hulu. When you see the movie, you're going to know what I mean. These kids are just like quirky. They like grew up on a farm and they're just like, they're kids, you know? And it's like the best part about childhood is they're just like, they're dumb. They don't like know anything, which is like every kid, you know? Like they're just trying to learn things about life and they're curious and they're adventurous and they're fun and they're like a little unhinged. And it's like, yeah, that's like, it's like what childhood is supposed to be like, you know what I mean? And it's so like beautiful to see that portrayed in like a modern film. So I love it. I love it. 10 out of 10. The next film that I watched, it's the title's in French. So I'm pretty sure it's Joyeux. I'm gonna Google it because, like I said, me plus French. Pronunciation. It's Merry Christmas in French. Okay, guys, it's Merry Christmas in French, but I don't know how to say it. I know it's
Joyeux Noël.
Oh no. I know it's Noel. That I know, y'all. Give me that, at least.
Joyeux Noël.
Joyeux.
Joyeux Noël.
Joyeux. Joyeux. That doesn't
Joyeux Noël.
that doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel right. I don't know. Joyeux. Joyeux. Okay, AI overview is gonna save my ass right now. Joyeux Noël, Merry Christmas in French, is pronounced roughly as the phonetics. Joyeux Noël, with the J sounding like the S in measure. Yeah, exactly. Period. I got that right. Joyeux, at the sound of at the sound of Noel. Joyeux and Noel, having two clear syllables. Noel. Joyeux Noël. Something about that spiritually doesn't sit with me, but I'm just gonna go with it. Thank you for sitting with me while I struggle through French pronunciation. So this movie was really good. This was another 10 out of 10 for me. This is a war film, so I know that's like not everybody's cup of tea. It's from 2005. It surrounds 3 different sides of World War I, the Germans, the French, and the Scots. And they're literally like on the battlefield. And it's like this, of all the movies that I've seen, this is like one of my top for sure for the month. I like cannot recommend this movie enough. I think it's such a beautiful story. It's actually about like Christmas, or it takes place on Christmas, and it has like very strong like thematic like Christmas spiritual like gathering love like themes, and I cannot hype this movie up enough. I thought it was amazing, and I want to like talk about it, but I don't want to like spoil it. So I might talk about it a little bit right now. I'm gonna put a timestamp in here. So if y'all want to go see this movie and not be spoiled a little bit, you can skip ahead to
22 minutes and 37 seconds.
Right. Okay. So skip ahead. Oh my gosh. Okay. So just the scene on the battlefield. So essentially the 3 troops are at I don't even know where they are, if they're in France, wherever they are, they're on the battlefield, okay? And it's Christmas, like they have to fight over Christmas, and it's just so insane. This scene where, you know, I think the bagpipes started it. I think there was a bagpipe player that was part of the Scots like brigade, and he started playing music, and I think it was Christmas Eve, and the other people were like close enough that they could hear the music like in the distance, and so like the Germans and the French could hear it, and they were like, everyone's ears like perked up, like, oh my God, it's a Christmas song, it's Christmas Eve. And it's just like all these men are like out there exhausted, like all, maybe prepared to die. Like it's literally, they're in the thick of war, and they just hear this like relief, like this like moment out of time almost. It's like it's time stopped for all of them. And it's just such a beautiful story. This is like a massive spoiler because on the German side, there are two opera singers, and they come out and like start singing Christmas songs. And then like the bagpipe players and the opera singers are like singing together, but they're like on opposite, they're like fighting against each other. And then the three like commanders from each brigade like come together, and they decide on like a ceasefire for Christmas Eve. And it's just like insane. It's also based on a true story, so it's such like a beautiful like it's so amazing. It shows the power of music. They all gather. There's like one priest from like the Scots Brigade that like gives like a Christmas basically mass for everybody, and it's just actually insane. They all end up like gathering and sharing alcohol with each other and like treats with each other, and they literally just all decide for the night of Christmas Eve to like not fight. It's freaking nuts. And then they're all like talking about like how they're gonna document how that night went, because most of them are like journaling, or like the commanders have to document what happened, and they're all like lying, you know what I mean? They all have to document that, like, oh yeah, there was no fire from the other side, the Germans were, like tame, whatever. Like they have to like bullshit because they can't admit that they all decided to say fuck it for one night and all gather like and celebrate Christmas Eve. It's just like freaking insane. And so yeah, end of spoiler. I just hope y'all go watch this. This is so far my favorite movie of the month. I just thought it was so heartwarming. It's a war movie, so it's, it has its moments. It's kind of like long, but I do think it's worth it. I think it's amazing. I think you should stick it out. It has English, German, and French in it. So, be prepared to read subtitles unless you're trilingual, girl, unless you're like a polyglot, like I've said. So be prepared for that. But I really, really, really enjoyed this film, and I highly recommend it. All right, everybody. The last Christmas movie that I watched this week was called A Christmas Story. This is a 1983 film. It is so freaking heartwarming. I guess I gave this like a 9 out of 10. I don't know. I'm like rating this on the spot because I didn't write anything down. I liked this film. I thought it was so cute. I loved like the inner monologue of the lead character. The lead character is like a young boy, but the inner monologue is like an adult man's voice. So I thought that was like super cute. It was an interesting choice. This film is just super charming. It's meant to take place in like the 1940s, and it's so cute. It's so like true to that time period and so charming. It's just a very cute, like older Christmas film. It's very heartwarming. The one thing that like sincerely threw me so off guard, if you've seen this movie, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen this movie, skip ahead to
25 minutes and 25 seconds
because I'm probably gonna spoil it. The lamp. Okay, this movie was like so calm, so heartwarming, just like it's like this kid's journey to get his like dream Christmas gift, and he's there's commotion at school and like this drama and like all this stuff. But what the hell was the lamp? What was the lamp about? That was so weird. I thought the movie was taking like a massive turn when that happened. I was like, wait a second, why is this relevant to the plot? Like, where is this coming from, and why? I just like, it just caught me so off guard. I was like, wait, is this like, is he dreaming that this is happening, or is this actually happening? So that I was very confused by. I mean, maybe it's like symbolism in some way to like a post-war, like the way that culture was shifting post-war, and like humanity becoming more desensitized toward like violence, sex, like goriness, like darkness in a way. I guess it could like symbolize that, but I was like, what is happening? Like, why is this even here? So that was very random, right? Very random, but it was a very wholesome movie. I thought it was very cute. End of spoilers, I guess. I do recommend y'all watch it. I guess I give it like a 9 out of 10. This is like an older Christmas movie that I think is just like well made. It's like cute, and yeah, the inner monologue is gonna do it for me every time. I thought it was so cute. So I do hope that y'all go dive into that one. All right, everybody, that is going to wrap up today's episode. I hope everyone has a wonderful week. I hope those that celebrate Hanukkah are enjoying their festivities, and next week's episode will be coming out after Christmas. So I hope that everybody has a wonderful Christmas. Have a wonderful week. Stay safe, and I'll see you next week. Bye.